What's going on, YouTube?
Yeah.
Here on this Saturday night with Week 9 review. Currently in the middle of that Colorado-Cincinnati game. Colorado's up at this time 24-14 in the third quarter with the ball driving. Looking good. It's your host, Anthony. I'm here with my boy, Dallin. Dallin, how you doing today?
Mad as hell.
Mad? I don't know why you're mad. Your Bama Roll Tide rolled today.
Oh, shit.
They look good.
Yeah. I'm not mad about that game. I'm mad about my picks.
Oh, yeah.
Because
if you just want to tell the people,
only pick that messed me up. Oh, tell the score. Yeah.
You want to tell the people
12-8,
the score? 12-8 me. Whooping
you.
Dallin ass and picks in week 1 and week 9.
Man, shut your ass up, bro. You only up by 4.
My man went with upset week. You watched the last episode?
Look here. You would be up by 3 if I chose BYU instead of UCF. I'd have flipped because I thought these niggas were going to win. These niggas are garbage. I knew that niggas was fucking garbage.
We're going to talk about it. Before we get into game reviews, I just want to say our YouTube.
See why I'm upset?
A lot of love and appreciation for everybody that's hitting that subscribe button. We up to 2K views, 25 likes. Let's get those likes up on the videos.
Oh, get that shit up. I know we can get it up.
Let's try to get 50 likes on this video, but I do appreciate the love and support. Up to 700 and something subscribers. Let's try to get to 1,000. Let's try to get to 1,000 subscribers.
We should be in 1K by at least by the end of the week. I know for a fact because y'all ran that. Y'all got us to 719 in a few days.
Yeah,
I know y'all can run it up. Come on now.
All love.
Yeah, that support is amazing.
All love. All right, let's get started. We're gonna go with reviews, starting with that Friday night game, and then we'll end with some week 9 X factors, which is 3 players that we thought outperformed or outstanded in week 9. But starting that Friday night late game, we had number 17 Boise State at UNLV. Boise State eked out a win, 29-24. What's your thoughts on this game?
I honestly thought it was gonna be a blowout, but UNLV surprised me. They really grinded that whole entire game out. I watched it start to finish. I loved it. UNLV, they were hanging in there, and they suppressed Genty. And I ain't gonna lie to you, that man had 33 carries for 128 yards with a touchdown. They had to put that man in full workhorse mode in order to get that dub out.
Nah,
but then also who was it? Quarterback Madison.
Yeah, Maddox Madison
was balling too. Yeah, he was also balling too.
Yeah.
He said,
yeah, Maddox Madison.
Y'all gonna key it on Genty? Yeah, I'm finna go off too. Y'all gonna worry about me.
Yeah, Maddox Madison played outstanding. And before we get further into the talks, just want to correct something because I did get a little backlash for it last week. It's not Tavion Jackson, it's Taven Jackson. I know we said Tavion Jackson. Indiana fans did not like that. Yeah, it's Taven Jackson.
Oh, I thought it was
Taven Jackson. So we'll do better with name pronunciations moving forward. But yeah,
look here, I'm from the South. Oh, I can't pronounce names.
yeah. Boise State, man. Listen, UNLV had a great game plan. They knew that they were going to have to force somebody else to beat them besides Ashton Genty, and they did. And Boise State responded great with Maddox Madsen, the quarterback, played incredible. I think they had a tight end that played incredible also. But yeah, 18.
I forgot his name.
Yeah. 18 for 33 passing for 209 yards and a touchdown. And then Madsen had another 3 carries for 59 yards and a touchdown on the ground. So incredible. He had that long run in the second quarter. And then ultimately UNLV
16, 17 yards.
Yeah. Well, I think it was like 30, 40. But yeah, Ultimately, that game to me came down to UNLV turning that one turnover to Boise State's none. And you
Yeah.
can't turn the ball over in games like that where, you know, you don't know when you're going to get that possession back. So Boise State did what they were supposed to do to keep their playoff hopes alive, and we both picked Boise State, so we both thought they had that in them.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a blowout, but I mean, I knew they were still gonna get a dub regardless.
Yeah. And before we move on to the next game, I do want to state or throw out some flowers to Haj Malik Williams, the quarterback for UNLV. Incredible, bro.
Oh
Incredible.
yeah,
I mean, 100,
yeah.
105 yards on the ground, 179 yards throwing, 3 total touchdowns. The dude played. He played well, but like I said, that one
without
interception cost him.
without him, UNLV wouldn't even had a chance.
Yeah.
He
I
kept
think
them
if
in the
they,
game. He kept
yeah,
them in the game every single drive.
it has a bright future. Haj Malik Williams has a bright future. I think even if it's not at UNLV, any Power Four school will be lucky to have Haj Malik Williams next year.
Yeah.
Moving on to a early game. We both had this game being close. Notre Dame said, "Fuck, you're close." Notre Dame goes at Navy and beats them 51-14. And I want to just start by saying I like being right. You know what I'm saying? I told you that the difference in this game was the fact that Notre Dame was going to be able to throw the ball better than Navy. Notre Dame threw the ball better than Navy. Riley Leonard threw the ball better than Blake Horvath, and that's all it really was. Navy cannot get anything going on the ground, and when Navy can't get anything going on the ground like normal, which I mean, Navy still ran the ball pretty well, but again, Notre Dame, you got to throw the ball to beat some of these Power Four highly ranked schools. And if you can't throw the ball, I don't know how you're going to win those games. I just thought the time of possession, which was equal, it was equal. I just thought that it would lead to more Navy touchdowns, and it didn't. Navy had, or not Navy, sorry, that Notre Dame defense forced 3 fumbles and an interception. So
No, they had 6 turnovers as a whole. That's why the game wasn't close because
yeah,
you turned the ball over six times, and then Notre Dame also capitalized every single time you turn the ball over.
mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing else you can do.
Well, I only count 4 turnovers. 2 of them were 4 and outs that they were just Navy was trying to get something going when the game was already out of reach. But yeah, like I said, the key to the game was Notre Dame pass game, and it was. Riley Leonard played great, and Notre Dame dropped 51 because they could throw the ball, and Navy couldn't.
Still fuck Notre Dame. These niggas ain't good. They in the conference that can't nobody else play in.
Well, we're gonna switch over to a team that is in a conference that people can play in, and that is really good. Washington at Indiana. College game day was here. Indiana was lit. Number 13, Indiana rose Washington 31-17 and showed the world they are for real. How you feel about this game?
Gotta give it flowers to Tavion. That boy was balling.
Taven.
Oh, Taven. Oh my god.
Taven Jackson.
Taven. He was
Taven Jackson
on the ground and throwing the ball through the air, playmaking, be able to move out the pocket, just throwing on the run, all of it.
Yeah, Taven Jackson.
And then that defense too. My God.
Man, and
Indiana
Indiana
definitely go to the Big Ten championship. No, without a doubt. That defense ball out like that against Washington, they definitely going to the Big Ten championship.
But listen, yeah. I mean, they definitely got a chance. Indiana, ultimately this game was Washington's penalties. Penalties killed Washington. And then, like you just said, Taven Jackson looked comfortable. I think he was 11 for 19, with 141 total yards and 2 total touchdowns, 1 through the air and 1 on the ground. He played incredible. He played similar to what we thought Curtis Work would do when he was there anyway. It was like they had a quarterback, their starting quarterback anyway. And then, Will Rogers, 2 interceptions. Another, like I said, in games like this against high octane opponents, you can't turn the ball over. That was the same case for Navy. And it's the same case for Washington. 2 turnovers through the air. Well, 3 turnovers in total, but 2 picks led to that game being how it was, and then that ultimately to cap off Washington, that punt return by Miles Price that put them inside the 15 and then led to an Indiana touchdown. And it was just
Oh
yeah. When teams get ahead of you, like when teams like Indiana get ahead of you, it's really hard to climb back. And we said it, that defense, unreal. Top 6 in FBS statistically. That defense is fire.
yeah. And the person I liked that game was Coleman. Running back off of Washington. Boy, it was tough.
Yeah.
Boy, it was tough. Making first people miss, and then you try to tackle him like at least 1-2 people, still not bringing him down. He ain't score, but shoot, couldn't even tackle him.
Yeah. And I think we both had Indiana winning this game. So
Yeah, we did.
Not really a shocker that Indiana won this game. Just more so impressed with their ability to handle adversity without their starting quarterback. That was the most impressive part about Indiana's win.
I think I actually had them a lot closer than what the score was.
Yeah, me too. But like I said, without their starting quarterback, actually, no. I thought Washington was going to get blown out. I thought Indiana was going to put up more points
I
than
thought they
31.
was going to be closer.
I told you I didn't think they would skip a beat, and really they didn't. They didn't skip a beat. All right, let's go to a game.
I had Washington winning more. Scoring more.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly the score, but I'm pretty sure I had Indiana rolling, which they pretty much did.
Yeah.
But moving on to a game that we thought would not be close. Nebraska at number 4 Ohio State. Nebraska almost eked out a win here, 17-21. And I'll let you start.
Shoot. I honestly thought Ohio State, since they being at home, they thought they was all just dog water Nebraska. But man, what Will Howard got going on?
Oh,
But it's not him.
To me, he looked good.
Yeah, no, it wasn't him. It's the fact that Nebraska shut down that run, so they had Will Howard just passing the ball the entire time. Judkins and what is it, Henderson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had them shut down. So that's what kind of put that game about them losing about 4 points. And it only really came down to Dylan Raiola on the last drive, and this man threw a pick.
Yeah, unfortunate.
He was balling the whole entire game.
Yeah, unfortunate. Unfortunate interception at the end of the game. I think it's just a true freshman in a true freshman situation. He doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough game-winning drives under his belt to understand what to do in that situation. Understand that you have another play, and if nothing's there, get out of there, throw it away. Something. You just can't force balls in the double coverage or across the middle for no reason. I got a couple of points, and I think you hit it right on the head. 67 total rushing yards for Ohio State. This is a team that averages like 250 a game.
That's low.
So, and they didn't score a rushing touchdown. I can't remember the last time Ohio State didn't score a rushing touchdown in a game. Definitely not this season. So Ohio State struggled running the ball against Nebraska. That physical front seven of Nebraska showed, which they did not show against Indiana last week. So I think this week they had a kind of a little chip on their shoulder, especially with the way we went at them, even on this podcast. So they proved that they're real. But ultimately, this loss was not on Dylan Raiola, not on the Nebraska defense. It was on the coaching staff because 7 penalties is discipline by the coaching staff. Nebraska had 7 penalties in that game that cost them. Will Howard was incredible. In my eyes, he was 13 of 16, 221 yards and 3 total touchdowns and an interception. To me, he played well. And then Nebraska outrushed Ohio State. So they ran the ball, and their time of possession, remember we always talk about this. Me and you, this is our thing this year. Time of possession. Offenses that possess the ball should win games. And this is the second time we had a conversation with an offense that possessed the ball for over 10 minutes longer than the opposing team and still lost. Nebraska is one of those teams. Like, time of possession was in your favor. You ran the ball better. You threw the ball just as well. You held Quinshawn Judkins and Travion Henderson to 67 total rushing yards and 0 touchdowns, and you lost that game. I feel like Nebraska goes into their locker room and they understand that's a game that they let get away from them.
Ohio State went for 1 for 10 on third downs. You can't lose that game, especially a team like that. And you got them on 1 for 10 on third downs. No, y'all gotta win that game. That I only say it's Viola's fault because of that last drive. But other than that, that's why I say he's been balling the whole game, defense and offense balling. Your defense over here is stopping a high-powered offense the whole entire game, and it just come down to you just to take the last drive and score.
Man, not to cut you off, just giving you guys an update. Isaiah Gustav with a 7-yard touchdown run to put Colorado up 31-14 in the third quarter.
Yeah,
all right.
They went it out.
Yeah.
They went out, bro.
Yeah. I mean, another thing I just want to point at, just to put in hindsight of how great Nebraska's front seven played today. Ohio State's rushing game, not only do they average 250 yards a game, they average 5.9 yards a carry. That's almost 6 yards a carry. And today they only had a 1.5 yards a carry off 28 carries. They struggled. They struggled rushing. They couldn't get anything on. Will Howard was the only bright spot that offense had, and they beat you. And Will Howard's not the reason why you should lose to Ohio State.
Before we get off that topic, of Ohio State, they got Indiana in 2 weeks.
You already know State next week.
You already know who I'm going with.
Yeah, they have Penn State next week. And let's take a break on that Penn State game because Drew Aller went out with a knee injury.
Yeah, I think Ohio State will win that game.
So if they don't have Drew Aller, I don't know how they can win that game.
Ohio State gonna win that, but then they got Indiana in 2 weeks. And the way Indiana playing, they finna walk in Columbus and take a dub.
Yeah, Indiana.
They're gonna be on high hopes after they play Penn State, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, we're gonna cakewalk everybody."
Indiana's my dark horse in the Big Ten. Like, I know I said Oregon, Penn State, Big Ten championship game. It's looking a lot like Oregon, Indiana. Indiana's defense is good. Curtis Work is expected to be back next week against Michigan State. Their schedule is not that hard. Their last hard game on their schedule is Ohio State in 2 weeks. I think they're going to be prepared for Ohio State. It's in Indiana? Is that game in Indiana?
Oh, no. It's in Columbus.
It's in Columbus? Well, they'll travel to Columbus, which I wouldn't be afraid to travel to Columbus because Nebraska just traveled to Columbus and they traveled well. So,
yeah, I definitely think Indiana going to walk out of there with a dub.
Yeah, I want to wait to make my prediction on that game until that time comes. I want to see what Ohio State does next week against Penn State in Happy Valley at a whiteout game at night. All right, let's talk about my Oklahoma Sooners winning the Ole Miss and kind of had me hopeful. A lot through that game.
We both had y'all being blown out.
Yep. We did have me getting blown out, which technically, 16 points. It ain't a blowout, but it ain't. It ain't.
You
close.
Was right though. You was right about Jackson Arnold. Y'all had a chance with him.
Yes. Yeah. So if you watched last episode of the podcast, I did state firing offensive coordinator was a clap. Putting Jackson Arnold back in the starting position was a clap because I felt like Jackson Arnold was our best chance to win football games because we can actually have the ability to throw the football. And we did, but I will say this: we look like an offense with the newly installed offensive game plan because we could not capitalize on scoring opportunities. There was a 4th and goal that we didn't capitalize on, which now in hindsight we should have just took the field goal, but it is what it is. But again, another one of those games, Dallin. This is literally going to be our trend this year. I've already felt it every single game. Oklahoma had better time of possession. We ran the ball better than Ole Miss, yet somehow we lost that game. And I don't understand how football teams have time of possession in their favor, rushing in their favor, opposing rushing yards under 100, and we lose that game. I think we had Ole Miss at what? How many total rushing yards? 80? 67? However much it was, and we lost that game. That can't keep happening. That cannot keep happening. Time of possession is literally godsend. That's what you want going into football games. We cannot possess the ball longer than the opposing team and lose. 3 times. We stated this 3 times, 2 in just this review. So
y'all had them up to 69.
69 rushing yards, and yeah. But yeah, Jackson Arnold looked good, 22 of 31, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. But again, Jackson Dart looked great. I mean, with a team that couldn't run the ball, he threw the ball very well. Jackson Dart 22 of 30 with 311 yards, 1 touchdown, and 39 yards rushing. So he kind of beat us up.
Y'all shut that rushing yards. I mean, my bad. That rushing attack down just like y'all did, and then also limit Jackson on his throws. Y'all would have won.
Yeah,
that's the only issue.
I think I go into this game optimistic about Oklahoma's future. I don't know if Jackson Arnold's going to stay after getting benched. What I do know is Ole Miss does not look like a college football playoff contender because they struggle offensively, whether it's running the ball, whether it's throwing the ball. We've seen them struggle throwing the ball against Kentucky earlier this year and that loss, and then struggle running the ball against Oklahoma. I just don't think they beat any of the top tier SEC teams with this type of gameplay.
I don't see it happening. Like, who do you got left on their schedule? Let's see.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at that schedule really quick. But yeah,
they got Arkansas, then they got Georgia, Florida, then Mississippi State.
Yeah, which I mean, Arkansas and Georgia, hard. They're going to beat Ole Miss. I mean, they're going to beat Mississippi State, and they're going to beat Florida. It's are you going to beat? Are you going to beat Arkansas? Are you going to beat Georgia? Arkansas, you should beat. You should beat Arkansas.
They're on the road.
A loss to Georgia would be understandable. But you should beat Arkansas.
They're on the road.
Yeah, and Arkansas already upset a top 15 team on the road or at home.
And then they got Georgia at home too. And you know what happened when last time a ranked opponent Georgia went to at home. Dog. Well, now they ain't dog welcome. They beat them by 15.
They beat them. Kind of manhandled them. We're talking about that Texas game for anybody that's not aware. We're talking about that Georgia-Texas game where Georgia kind of manhandled Texas a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we're at that Texas game. You obviously on a rock.
Texas is back. Not against Georgia.
Texas back.
But yeah, like Ole Miss has to figure out a better balance. That defense isn't that good to me. The rushing game is inconsistent. Jackson Dart is a little inconsistent. He has these like spurts of like great Heisman-like performances, and then he'll struggle.
Sputters.
Yeah.
Sputtered like an old car. My God. What a hit.
That. Yeah. Talking about that Colorado hit?
Yup.
Hit against, yeah.
My God.
Colorado's back on the field, though. Up 31-14.
Come on, Jimmy. You can't do that, bro. All right. Let's
move on. We got number 11 BYU at UCF. We both had UCF winning this game. Both was wrong. BYU goes and they win 37-24. What's your thoughts on this game?
Fuck UCF. I'm like, I shouldn't even pick them. I should have known.
I think it's a little bit of BYU disrespect.
Yeah. They BYU was balling though. I ain't gonna lie to you. They had some big runs, big plays. They were just I should have known UCF wasn't even gonna compete. I picked them because I thought since they at home, they've been losing their games close. And then They at home. They got a chance. Nah, because they stayed a chance. They lost boy about 13. It was
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, and UCF tried to make a comeback at the end, but it was way too late. Way too late.
Yeah,
UCF's problem is the problem that they've had all year. Yes, you can
no
run the ball
quarterback
with RJ Harvey, but you cannot throw the football. And it's the same problem that Navy had against Notre Dame. You can't throw the football. You can't win games without a passing game. Not in today's football. You got to be able to
Yeah,
throw the ball consistently. But let's talk about it. Time of possession was won by BYU. Oh my God! Finally, a team that has more time of possession and wins the football game. BYU's quarterback Jack Retzlaff, 16 of 24, 228 yards, 2 touchdowns. Apparently, they call him the Jewish something. Not going to get into religion, but he played
I'm not
incredible.
even.
He played good. And then, like I said, UCF struggles. Jakari Brown, the starting quarterback for UCF, benched after throwing 2 interceptions in that game. Was 8 for 17 and 96 yards. Pipe stepped in, didn't do much better. He struggled also. But RJ Harvey, man, that's an NFL running back. 16 carries
Oh,
and
yeah.
127 yards. RJ Harvey, incredible. The only bright spot on that UCF offense right now. Oh, and Kobe Hudson. No disrespect to Kobe Hudson. He's the NFL wide receiver too, but nobody can throw him the ball. Nobody can throw him the ball.
I can't remember. They cycled through like 4 different quarterbacks now. KJ, the young freshman, I think it was like a
Yeah,
17-year-old. Another
KJ,
quarterback too.
yeah, and then they went to Jakuri, and then they ended with Pipe. Yeah, they don't know what's going on. They're reaching for good QB play right now, and they don't have it.
And that seems like the downfall of some of these good teams this year. UCF don't know that quarterback play. Michigan don't know that quarterback play. So it's like y'all could be good if y'all can
Yeah,
get the quarterback that you want.
yeah, we
Y'all
can
get them,
keep it
but
going.
then
We
you
can keep it
just
going. Oklahoma was struggling
they don't
QB
fit.
play.
Yeah, them too. Y'all get the quarterback that y'all want, then they don't fit in the system.
Man. But yeah. Ultimately, UCF, man, same UCF. Probably a little demoralized after not beating Iowa State last week.
Yeah.
So
Well, they had lost it on a nail biter.
yeah. Last second touchdown drive by Iowa State. But let's move on. Roll Tide, baby.
Oh
We
yeah,
said it last episode. I stated Alabama comes in with a different game plan. Jalen Milroe's back to throwing the ball efficiently down the field. Alabama blows the team out 34-0. Let's talk about it.
I actually had Missouri at least scoring some type of points, but I did tell you if they don't score any points, they was gonna get 3 at most. They didn't score shit. Fuck these niggas. They came in and got their ass rolled. You know, they had bench what's his name, Brady Cook.
Mm-hmm.
Man, threw
Whoa.
3 picks.
They benched him.
Moore
They
had a
benched
pick.
Brady Cook because of injury, because of last week's injury. He was just unable to compete,
right.
not because of bad play.
Yeah, it don't matter. He shouldn't have came in. I
Whoa.
think he was gonna do something. Moore had a pick. Hubbard had a pick. Then Russell had a pick too. I just love to see them boys balling. Then also defense over here. How many sacks we had this game? We only had 1. Oh dang. Well,
Yeah.
the amount of QB pressures we had, they couldn't even run the ball. We held what was it, Luther Burden to 3 catches. I think Theo Wees had like maybe a couple of them. Yeah, he had 2. So it's like our corners was playing good, safety was playing good, front set was playing good. Then with the offense, we actually got, like I told you, the rushing attack. If you just feed them the ball, they are going to prosper. Jam Miller had a touchdown. Justin Haynes had a touchdown. Milroe had a touchdown. They couldn't stop it. Oh my God, it was so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Them boys
So
ball.
last episode, I said it. I said offense comes in with a different game plan. Jalen Miller throws the ball down the foot efficiently. Alabama's back to playing Alabama football. Remember, I told you inside zones, outside zones, inside runs, run the fucking football, Alabama. What did y'all do? Y'all ran the damn football and ran it efficiently. And guess what?
Look what happens.
You're back in the win column, and nobody's questioning whether you're good or not right now.
Stop trying to feed just two people and spread the love around. What gonna happen? Prosperity.
Yeah,
It's gonna be lovely.
Brady Cook benched due to injury. Quarterback that stepped him, not ready for SEC gameplay. Not at all. 3 interceptions.
Yeah,
that was a kicker. You can't. First of all, no one thought Alabama was going to lose this game to Missouri. We all believe Missouri was fake from the moment they were ranked in the preseason in the top 10. They're not a top 10 team. They were never a top 10 team. We had questions whether they were a top 25 team. I think Vanderbilt is better than Missouri.
Missouri is better than last year. They had a better team last year than they do got this year.
And yeah, it's easy to say now after watching Vanderbilt beat Alabama, and then Missouri struggled to Alabama, and then Texas A&M put BTA to Missouri, and Vanderbilt almost beat Texas. Like, yeah, it's easy to say in hindsight, but goddamn, like they're not just better. Like we're talking about Vanderbilt, the foot of the what do we call them? The shit rag of the SEC, the towel that wipes the ass of the SEC. Not anymore. Not anymore. Missouri might be the fucking foot of the SEC right now. They're not good. And Brady Cook's hurt. Luther Burden's frustrated because he can't get the ball when he's really one of the best receivers in the SEC. Like, it's embarrassing how good of a receiver Luther Burden is playing for a team that can't give him the fucking football right now. I seen a clip, and it was literally a compilation of Luther Burden's routes wide open. It was a highlight reel of him not getting the ball. That's how good Luther Burden is, and they can't. I mean, Missouri's not it. Missouri's not it right now. I'm glad that they lost this game so they can get the fuck out the top 25, so we can let real teams like Colorado in.
Before we get off this subject, if Luther ever see this damn podcast, I need you to transfer. Come to Bama. We're gonna give you the ball. You gonna get the love. Just come.
Is he a senior?
He's a junior. He's a junior. Literally, shut up. No, shut up. He needs another year. He needs another fucking year. Transfer. Leave Missouri. Come to Bama. We're gonna give you the ball. We're gonna spread the ball to you. You and Ryan Williams. My God, that's a damn duo right there. We need you. Come on. Come to Bama. The ball? You know you want to.
Who throwing the ball? Noah Fafita?
You know we got a You see this? You see this? I already told you. You know that recruit we got.
Yeah, I think Noah Fafita's good still. I think he has bright side.
Who is it? The 6'3" quarterback from Duncanville. We can get him the ball. He gonna throw it. I ain't gotta worry about nothing.
Yeah.
Missouri. You childish for that one.
Missouri got to go. I think Noah Fafita is still good. I don't think he's not great. I just think he's just not Arizona anymore. Like that game plan is not fit around him. Like I said, I think personally Noah Fafita should transfer to
somewhere smaller. Probably
somewhere in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I was gonna say Big Ten, Big
Michigan,
12, or he can go
like Michigan, where they can run the ball, their defense is good, and all he has to do is game manage. I think Noah Fafita will get himself back into NFL discussion if he goes to a team like Michigan.
I didn't realize
Oregon.
I forgot Austin Mack.
Oh, Oregon. I think I also like him at Oregon with that high spread offense.
I'm not putting him in Oregon. You got to be able to throw the ball with Oregon. He's not going to be able to do that.
He can throw the ball.
Somewhat. Inaccuracy.
We're not going to disrespect. He can throw the football. His decision making is terrible, though.
That's my point. No,
but he's a really good scrambler. But you know who he reminds me of? Like a smaller. He reminds me of a smaller Marcus Mariota.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't ever disrespect Mariota like that. Don't do that.
He kind of reminds me of Johnny Manziel, but like with interceptions.
No, you didn't. Stop it. The disrespect is real. You are not going to put Noah
All right,
Fafita in the same
I'm
category as
joking.
Carlos
I'm joking.
Miragoda
I'm joking,
and
Chad. For everybody
mindset.
that's watching this and thinks I'm telling the truth, I'm joking. I'm joking. He is not that good.
Hey,
But
look here.
I
Y'all
think
put in
I
the
think it's
comment. I'm gonna fly back to Texas. I'm gonna put this nigga in a chokehold.
I think the upside is there. Definitely, the upside is there. Maybe not in height because I think it's small as hell, but in heart. Moving on, number 5 Texas at number 25 Vandy. Texas almost lost this game, 27-24. You told me Vandy was real.
Telling
I
you,
believe you.
telling you, Texas is
I believe
even
you.
okay. So it's not. This is not just Vandy's real. Texas is not the team that everybody think they is. It's not. They struggled against Georgia. They lost a game. They struggled against Vandy. They should have lost this game. It
I don't
came
think
down
they
to
should have
one.
lost.
It literally came down to one possession where Vandy made Texas punt, and then when they made them punt, they had the ball. They could have came back and they could have let that drive down and scored, or at least get a field goal. But what happened was Vandy offensive line, just like fucking Kansas offensive line is garbage. These motherfuckers letting blitzes come through. Pavia can't fucking just stay in the pocket. He got to scramble. And that's another thing. Pavia retreating. He's instead of him trying to go out and around, he's just going
Mhm.
straight back, thinking
Yeah,
he Patrick Mahomes or something could just launch that
he,
motherfucker up.
he plays like Johnny Manziel, but he's just not as good. He has that same type of like I'm gonna make a play happen mentality.
That that drive right there, that literally sealed the whole entire game. They couldn't do anything else after that.
Yeah,
They would have won that though.
yeah. My keys here is
Like,
Texas defense is good. Texas defense has always been good. Um, Vanderbilt 3 for 12 on third downs.
that's
Three
another
for
thing.
12. You got to be able to advance, and then as you just said, Diego Pavia trying to force shit down the field. You can't do that against top teams. And I know in his mind he's like big plays. I can't let no play go to waste because this team's so good. We have to make these plays in order to win this game. But literally, y'all could have won this game with just a little better decision making by Diego Pavia. Those 2 interceptions were not it. Cost him this football game. Quinn Ewers gave you 2 interceptions too. Like when Quinn Ewers in Texas gives you opportunities to beat them, don't give those opportunities back. When Ewers throws 2 picks, you can't throw 2 picks, Diego Pavia. You got to be smarter than the team against you because you don't have that type of leeway. Like you at Vanderbilt don't have the ability to make those mistakes that Quinn Ewers does at Texas. His defense is good. His defense is number one statistically. His defense is can get a stop. His rushing game can average 5 yards a carry. His receivers can make big plays on jump balls. You don't have that same luxury. So you don't have the luxury of throwing 2 picks the way that Quinn Ewers does, and that really cost Vanderbilt the game. But I believe you. Vanderbilt's back, and they're good, and they're real. I expect them to go bowling this year.
Yeah, they should at least get a bowl game. I believe. I think they'll get a bowl game and then win that bowl game too against whoever they play.
Yep. All
But
right, I'm
but
gonna
actually,
switch.
I liked them. I was kind of hating because they beat my team, but other than that, I did like them. I do like them.
All right, we're gonna go number 20 Illinois at number 1 Oregon. Oregon walked into this game, dominates in all fashions, 38-9.
I don't
Oregon
like
looks
that.
like the best team in the country.
I don't like that score. They should at least put they left 30 points off. There's no way. You telling me
Yeah.
Illinois? You only scored 38 on Illinois? Come on now.
Yeah. Oregon looked like the best team in the country. They look like they held back a lot. They were like they know they're better. We know we're better than them. We're not gonna run the score up. That's what Oregon looked like to me. They should have ran a score up. Also want to say Luke Altmaier, the quarterback for Illinois, came into this game with only 1 interception on the year, threw 2 of them, 2 interceptions this game. He didn't play well. And this is a quarterback that's played great all year. I mean, his stats going into this game, he was 120 of 182 for 1,506 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 1 interception. This game, 17 to 35, 169, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. Like he struggled. Luke Altmaier was supposed to be the veteran that was going to keep Illinois poised. He didn't play poised. He played confused and bad, and that's what cost him this game.
Yeah, I ain't got much to say on them. I just feel like they should have scored more. Understand
Illinois,
they're the best team. Yeah, no. Oregon.
Oregon,
They're
yeah,
the best.
yeah,
Yeah, they're the best team in the country. I already told you that. They're my favorite for the Natty. But I just
yep.
think
Both
they
of
should
ours.
have put more points up on them. I
Yeah,
feel like they left points off the board.
yeah. We both had Oregon winning this game. Just to
They had a massive
spin
blowout.
back to Vandy, Texas. He had Vandy winning that game. I had Texas. Texas ended up
And
winning
y'all
that
see how
game.
close I was. I'm telling you,
Hmm.
it's literally just every game besides what was it, Navy. Every game besides Navy came to literally like a couple scores, and it's something inside the game that should have went the other team's way, but fucking didn't.
Yep. And we'll talk about the next one that I think that you picked against me. Kansas at Kansas State. I picked Kansas State to win this game. You picked Kansas. Kansas State ended up winning this game 29 to
Oh
27.
God,
This game was a headache for me because
a headache for you.
I feel like Kansas just has not figured out how to close out games, and it's still showing
I'm talking
7 weeks into
about
the season,
how
9 weeks
how
into the
in the
season.
fuck are you a quarterback, senior quarterback? You've been 5 years in the college realm now, and your ass don't know when to fucking ball. I'm talking about Jalen Daniels I'm talking about leading the drive perfect, and then you do the dumbest shit. Like you literally made a freshman mistake, and you're a fucking senior. Who in the fuck has five defenders around them and be like, all right, I'm gonna go left, I'm gonna try to jump over this guy while I get tackled and then lose the fucking ball. All right, nigga, you don't know the fucking situation of the game. You got the ball. Why are you trying to turn the ball over? And then not to mention, they had another drive where they could have went down and tied it. This man, why are we passing the ball? Why are we passing the ball? What are we doing? But you know what? I'll never pick Kansas again. I promise you that.
Yeah,
Never
like
pick them again.
I think my keys to this loss for Kansas. One, just flat out, Kansas blew this game. This game was Kansas' game to win. Um, Avery Johnson outplayed Jalen Daniels. I mean, Avery Johnson, 19 to 34, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then another 14 carries for 67 yards and a touchdown on the ground. DJ Giddens, the best running back in the Big 12, hands down, DJ Giddens. He had 19 carries for 156 yards, averaging 8 yards per carry, averaging 8 yards per carry. And then at the end of that game, Kansas State pass rush was hitting home. I mean, they could have sent me, and I would have got past the guards and tackles on that Kansas offensive line. That offensive line sucks.
Oh no,
They're
they was
hot
blitzing.
garbage. They played terrible. They played terrible that game. Jalen Daniels had no time. And when you're trying to put together a game-winning drive that they were trying to put together at the end of that game, there's no reason why your quarterback was pressured on every single drop back immediately. The moment he snapped the ball, Kansas State defenders in his face.
So my thing is, as a O lineman, right? If you see a blitz coming, why the fuck are y'all not like picking it up? You clearly can see they're literally in the stands where they're going to blitz, and then they're also how did the D line spread apart if they're coming up the A gap. They did that.
Mm-hmm.
They did that 3 times that last drive Kansas had. So I'm like, the center didn't see it, the running back didn't see it. So I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Y'all just that's what I'm saying. These niggas blew it. I just told you. I hope these niggas don't choke, but they gonna choke anyway. It's Kansas.
Yeah, they definitely choked, and that Kansas defense deserves to run laps at practice because
Kansas.
533 total yards, 280 of those yards on the ground. Kansas got beat up. That Kansas defense got beat up by Kansas State. Kansas State played Kansas State football.
That whole team need to run laps. I need about good 20 of them.
And another
Don't
clutch
stop running
performance
till
for
you
Avery
puke.
Johnson. All right, Moving on to one of our last games that we're reviewing. A team that I was extremely high on. I made a hot take saying that this team was going to go to the SEC championship game, and boy, was I right. Texas A&M rolls LSU at home, 23-38.
Let's hold on. Let's not get a little excited because let's not forget LSU did have Texas A&M down 17-7 for like the entire first half.
All right, let me talk about it. LSU goes into that half up 17-7. And I want to huge shout out to the coaching staff at Texas A&M. They decided to make the biggest change in that locker room by going with Marcel Reed. Marcel Reed came out and LSU did not know what to do with him
Everything.
all second half. LSU outscored or Texas A&M outscored LSU 31-6 in that second half. 31-6. They were up 17-7 and got outscored 31-6 in that second half. Marcel Reed, 2 for 2, only 2 and completed 2 passes for 70 yards. But boy, was he effective on the ground. 9 carries for 62 yards and 3 touchdowns. They didn't know how to stop it. They didn't know how to stop Texas A&M offense with a running quarterback. And I think that, and I said it after that Notre Dame game when they went with Marcel Reed and they went on that winning streak with Marcel Reed. I said Marcel Reed should have been a starting quarterback. I like Connor Wayman. I think he's good. I think he's a really good quarterback in college. I think he's a future NFL player. Not at Texas A&M. If I'm the coaching staff at Texas A&M, Marcel Reed is my starting quarterback. This year, next year, he's so good. He's explosive. He can run the ball. He can throw the football. Like, the team responds to him. I mean, down 17-7, you switched your quarterback, and they played a totally different game of football in that second half.
One touchdown, and Texas A&M just immediately just fed off of that. I'm talking about everybody, whole entire stadium just went live.
The stadium, listen.
That next drive they got a pick too. Oh, it was over. It was over. Yeah. It was that momentum effect right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, the stadium, the 12th man was live. You put in Marcel Reed, you come out of the half, you score that touchdown, the stadium's livid. The coaching staff believes, the defense believes, and then they're playing hard. They're getting interceptions, picked off Garrett Nussmeier in the second half 3 times.
I'm talking about.
And then the rushing attack for Texas A&M. Texas A&M ran the ball well in that second half. I mean, when you're up, which they were up, I believe, 10 points at one point in that second half, and it was like a back and forth battle in that second half. You could tell that LSU was trying to get the momentum back away from Texas A&M in that second half. No, Texas A&M was like, no, you're not getting back in this game. You shouldn't have let us get ahead of it. It's over. It's over.
Yeah. See, what LSU had messed up was when they was up 17-7, the amount of times they could have had scoring opportunities in the first half and didn't, they would have put Texas A&M away. But they didn't. So they had left Texas A&M with hope. And then going into halftime, they changed it, put Reed in, Reed scored the first touchdown, came back, defense got a pick, scored again, next one. Oh, it was over. Defense came back, I think, got another pick. I'm talking about they had the way that defense was playing. Who was it? Nussmeier? That's what his last name was.
Garrett Nussmeier was.
Anyway, Nussmeier was looking. They was like, "Oh yeah, we over there. We taking it."
Yeah,
sideline pick.
Yeah, he's flustered. He's flustered, and
the safety came off the right side. Running back leak out this way. He flew all the way over here and just.
I was just about to say that. Listen. I was just about to say that, and I don't think it was a safety. I think it was a DN. But let me say, I wish we're gonna start implementing the clips. Be cautious with it. I'm still working on how to work this streaming platform, but we are gonna start going over plays and clips from the games. Probably do that on our Tuesday night episodes. But I just want to say, man, that DN looked smart. It's a QB spy. So they send for, or they give the look that they're going to send for, but the DN on the left side is on a QB spy, so he's going to block and release out and watch the quarterback. But he's so smart that he's watching the quarterback eyes and he's shifting over. He sees the running back leak out of the left side of the field, and he shifts over, and Nussmeier doesn't even see him, throws it right at him, picked it off. I mean, what a play!
He couldn't even believe it.
What
He
a
was like,
play!
"Wow."
Yeah, Nussmeier was shocked. I mean, if you watch that play, that's high IQ football.
That
That's
that that
that's an
was
NFL play. I mean, to beat a
excellent.
blitzing DN that's on QB contain and spy, and to have the awareness to shoot across the field when you see the running back about to leak out on a block and release. Crazy, crazy work.
Texas had
A&M
to
is
shoot.
good. A&M is for real. That defense is real. I said they can run the ball and they ran the ball efficiently. And Marcel Reed, the ability to go from Connor Wayman to Marcel Reed just makes Texas A&M way better.
Yeah, and it also opened up the run game for Moss too. Moss was starting to just
Yeah,
roll all over.
Le'Veon Moss is a
He was getting
beast.
he was getting what was it? He was getting shut down in the first half with Raymond in, and then as soon as they put Reed in, that opened it up, and that boy was just rolling all
14
over.
carries for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns, but every single carry he had felt like it was a big carry for them.
It's just explosive. I'm talking about breaking tackles, getting first downs when they needed it. It was
Yeah,
like Texas A&M
big.
responded well.
Just to have Le'Veon Moss on the goal line and have that kind of like a I know we're going to score because we have this guy in the backfield. That's how
So
it felt.
I also want to talk about some. I hate this football. I hate this football nowadays. As a fucking receiver, y'all put this damn stupid ass targeting rule in. I understand defenders. I understand that but as far as well as fucking offensive players, you don't ever get called for that shit. So you telling me this man delivered a beautiful block, and you can tell it's a beautiful block. Y'all talking about, oh, he didn't see him coming. Of course he didn't see him coming, because as a fucking defender, you're taught to keep your head on a fucking swivel, or
Listen,
shit like that is going to happen.
if
If he didn't get that block, he was going to be in that hole where Moss was, and he's not gonna score. So it's like y'all throwing a targeting penalty on that, not knowing he's going to make a play. So the receiver took him out the play so he can score. That's the purpose.
yeah,
I want a receiver to block like that.
my point exactly. Like, do you throw a flag when a tackle or a guard is pulling and they shoot and take out the DN or they take out the outside linebacker? No, because his job as a slot receiver was to get to the second level and clear that hole that Le'Veon Moss was going through. It is not his fault that the defender that's standing in a hole waiting to tackle Le'Veon Moss gets lit up because he's not paying attention to the block that's coming. Like, that does not make sense to me. And I don't know. The way I grew up, blindside blocks or illegal blocks was if I was running down the field and there was no reason for you to crack back block. That's illegal.
Yeah,
I
that's
felt like
illegal.
that wasn't a crack back block. That's a block that's in the hole that literally clears the hole. That's a block in the box. I don't understand how that's a targeting flag. And while we're on the poor officiating, I mean, Colorado, although they're winning this game currently, an interception by Preston Hodge on a pass interference that wasn't even a pass interference call. I mean, I've seen worse. Literally, all he did at worst was put his hand on his hip and get in front of him for the pick. That's not pass interference. And then you call back a touchdown by Jimmy Horn Jr. because he throws up the Tyreek Hill. I've never seen that shit in college football. We're erasing touchdowns because of
They hate him.
celebrations. I thought all celebrating touchdowns or all celebrating penalties were applied to the kick, or you know what I mean? Applied
Yeah, I
to
know.
the field goal. Like, why was it a touchdown taken off the board
I've
because
never
of
I've never seen a
that?
penalty
That
like that.
so stupid. Like, I hate that rule. In the NFL, if you can do it, you should be able to do it in college. I think the college needs to get on board with the fact that these players are going to do that shit. They're going to clown. They're going to throw the piece up. They're going to celebrate. Like,
Just let the
get
players talk,
over
bro.
yourself. Get
It's
over
football. What you
yourself.
think they're gonna do? They're gonna talk regardless.
Yeah, get
I
over
just
yourself.
I can't. It's
So last game to review is this Colorado Cincinnati game, which is currently in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes. Cincinnati has the ball. Colorado is up 31-17. So not really much to talk about. Colorado looks good though. They look like they're going to win this game. Um, So we can
I
just
think
skip this game. We can get into week 9 X Factors and we can spin back and hopefully that game's wrapping up and we can talk about it. Week 9 X Factors. So this is a segment where we give out our best performers, our top three performers from week 9. We'll go 1-1-1-1-1. So we'll trade off. You'll give out one, I'll give out one, and then we'll do that. And we'll just talk a little bit about why we chose that person as our top performer. So if you want to go first.
Let me go and pull him and stuff. You already know I'm going Taven Jackson. I'm already going him. Just stepped up behind Curtis Ward off of backup quarterback coming off of your starting quarterback being injured, and it's a big game for you to stay in playoffs. Hope you come in, you balling, you balled out for the team. Made the right plays. You had a turnover, but everybody has at least one turnover. But you responded well after that. You didn't mess up no more. You led your team to a dub, and now you got to go to the next week, hoping. Well, I think Curtis Ward should be back next week, but if he doesn't, I'm not really worried because he gonna be good. Taven Jackson gonna still show up and he gonna ball out.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, Taven Jackson played incredible. He didn't skip a beat. I can see why you chose him. My first best performer of the week, I'm gonna go with Marcel Reed. We talked about Texas A&M already.
One.
Marcel Reed's incredible, bro. I mean, he stepped in 3 total touchdowns in that second half. Man, listen, I'm gonna just leave him up. You could talk about why you chose him, but I chose him just because of the spark he gave Texas A&M in that second half.
Yeah, you pretty much stole the same thing. It's just the fact that his team down 17-7. He came in off the bench. His coach told him, "I need you to go in and do what you got to do. Get his team a dub." That boy took it. He took every single chance. 3 rushing touchdowns. Had the whole crowd live. Had the defense responding well. Pick after pick, turnovers. Like you just honestly felt like that second half when Marcel stepped in, it just felt like he should have been in the whole game because I'm pretty sure the game went down. They were 17-7 from the beginning if Marcel Reed was playing.
Yeah, and and LSU would you could tell they were not prepared to stop him, and he went in there and showed out. Marcel Reed definitely deserves that week 9 top performer. I'm gonna go with for my second one, Rasheem Biles, the linebacker for Pitt. I mean, he had 12 total tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 interception, 1 defensive touchdown. He was everywhere. Rasheem Biles is everywhere. I mean, yeah, Kyle McCord threw 5 interceptions. That Pitt defense played incredible, but Rasheem Biles stood out to me. He's a leader on that defense. I think he's the only defensive player I got on my top 3 performers, and he deserved it. I'm going with Rasheem Biles for my one of my X factors.
Okay. Sheesh. I didn't get a third one. I was trying to watch a Colorado game. I probably, I'll probably leave the third one up. I give it to the whole Nebraska defense. Just be honest, because you got a 2-headed monster in Ohio State's running back with Judkins and Henderson. And y'all shut them down. That's hard. Especially when you got a high Ohio State team like that. That's hard. Both of them averaging over 250 yards every game. And y'all come in, they don't even get over, I think what that thing said. It said like 1.5, 2 yards a carry. Nah, that's tough.
Yeah, they play well. I'm just upset they didn't get a win to go with that.
Yeah, that's the only downfall. But you can't take that performance away from them though.
Yeah, they performed incredible. For my third X factor, my final X factor of the week, I'm gonna go with Maddox Madsen, the quarterback at Boise State, in a game where they literally not took away because Ashton Genty still did what Ashton Genty did. But in a game where they needed someone other than Ashton Genty to step up, I think Maddox Madsen stepped up. He played incredible. He was poised. He didn't turn the ball over. And that's all you really want from a quarterback. Yeah, Maddox Madsen, man.
Yeah, Madsen threw the
What
ball well too.
a performance. And that's our week 9 X Factors. Marcel Reed, Rasheem Biles, Nebraska defense, Taven Jackson, and Maddox Madsen. Shout out to all those guys. Shout out to the performances they had this week. And
I'll just keep balling.
although
Bro.
that Colorado Cincinnati game is still wrapping up, 5 minutes left in that game, we could just talk a little bit about, let's talk about Colorado because I think they're going to win this game. It's 17-30, 31-17. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we can just talk about this game a little bit, obviously without saying for sure that the game's over because it ain't over until it's over in college football. But a win right now, what does that mean for Colorado?
I think they're going to the what they in the Big 10?
Big 12.
Big 12. Yeah, they're going to the Big 12 championship because they got Texas Tech next week. Then I think who the Texas Tech play this week? They played TCU this week, so they lost that game by 1. So I honestly think Colorado gonna win out just based off this performance alone with Cincinnati. That was a good team coming into this week, and like I told you last episode, defense played good. Colorado's a tough team to deal with. Their only issue was their defense, and did they also get a run game established as well? Shedeur ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, well, it's 17-31 right now. 5 minutes left. Cincinnati has the ball. They're driving. They're inside their own 50, so a touchdown here makes it a 1-possession game. So game's not over by any stretch of their imagination, but to me, Colorado's playing a little too conservative right now. They should be a little more aggressive, try to put another touchdown on the board, really put this game out of reach.
Yeah, they definitely should.
But yeah,
Travis got 119 yards right now. Two touchdowns.
Yeah, Travis Hunter, man. Welcome back. Incredible. That's it. That's it, though, for this episode of the Overrated Podcast. Again, appreciate everyone hitting that sub button, everyone that's dropping in, watching our videos. Would hope that you guys drop a comment, hit a couple more like buttons. Let us know that you're here. Let us know that you're liking the content we're putting out.
Oh yeah, the support is definitely appreciated. But keep hitting that like button. Keep hitting that. Make sure y'all leave a comment if you want to. I'm really gonna force you guys to. Make sure you hit the bell. We're gonna keep dropping these videos every week.
Yeah, every week. Listen, this video be released to you guys Sunday morning, and then next video released to you guys Wednesday morning, which we'll talk about some news. We'll probably give our I already got a couple of topics. We'll give our college football playoff prediction brackets starting right now, and then we'll, obviously we'll talk about the bad officiating, and more. And more.
We fire these damn refs up.
And more. Stay tuned. More is on the way. But yeah, goals for this week. Hey man, I would love to come back shooting this Wednesday episode at 1,000 subscribers. It would really make me feel better. So let's try to get that shit to 1,000, please.
Make sure we get that. Make sure we hit that like goal too. Hit about 50.
Yeah, let's get 50 likes on this video. Let's get 50 likes on this video. Couple comments. Please give us a couple comments. Let us know how you guys are thinking. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.